Hello and welcome to my first ever YouTube video. My name is Sid. This is my channel, Magical Hair. Today we are going to be doing my everyday makeup look, which I describe as a goth glam look. I am a hairstylist in Omaha, Nebraska. This channel is going to be hair, but if you follow me on social media, you know that my hair page isn't just hair. I do a lot of other things. But yeah, so this is kind of a little this is kind of an extension on my other social medias that I've been wanting to do for quite some time, so hope you guys enjoy. Hello and welcome. Today we are going to be doing my everyday makeup look. It is very highly requested. First, we're going to be starting with the e.l.f. Grip Primer. Most of the products that I use are drugstore. If they're not drugstore, it's usually like a Christmas gift or something. So, because your girl's on a budget. Now I use the Maybelline 24-hour skin tint in the shade 110. Love this stuff. I do have to use quite a bit of it to get like a pretty decent coverage. It's like a good medium coverage, I would say. I'm very cool toned. I am not pink toned. And I feel like for my skin tone, a lot of foundations are pink. And it makes me look weird. So this is one of the foundations that if you are like not a pink undertoned person, I really like this shade. Like I said, it's 110. Because yeah, a lot of them just make my skin look weird. And I kind of describe my look as gothic chic. So my everyday makeup look is very like glam goth is kind of how I describe it. I use very light foundation because I'm going for a more goth look. Like I want it to almost look like it's trying to be trad, but it's not trad. It's like a glam look. My concealer under my eyes, I want to look very like kind of like with the trad, how it's like very like white base, but I'm not doing that. It's kind of like more natural, but close to it, if that makes sense. So I use the LA Girl Pro Color, like the white mix-in. Technically, this is a mix-in foundation. I use this in my trad makeup, and then I also use this underneath my eyes to kind of give it that like leaning towards a trad look. I really like that foundation whenever I do trad. It is, again, kind of sheer. So I do have to do like 2 or 3 coats if I'm wanting it to be like a really extreme look. But, and I really want to do a trad makeup look. I do like really do it heavy around the eyes. So kind of like what I was saying, I'm a very cool toned person. A lot of like, not concealers, a lot of like bronzers and contours are very warm, and so I have to find stuff that's cool toned. So next I use the e.l.f. Halo Glow Contour. This is a cream contour, and this is in the shade Fair. So this is a cool toned contour, and it's a cream. I personally like cream contours. I just feel like they blend a lot better. Like I feel like it kind of looks airbrushed, and this is like a drugstore one, and I feel like it looks gorgeous. So I'm gonna go in. This is just like a pack of brushes at Ulta. I'm an Ulta girly. Love going to Ulta. This is just like a pack. This is the brush 200 in like RT. It's a great blending brush. I love it. It's what I always use for all of my contour. But basically, I just kind of pat and I go into circles, blend everything out. And you see how like nice and blended that is? And I just blend that in and I blend it down my neck. Usually I kind of feel like I have like a little bit of a line here. So I'll take my beauty blender that has my foundation on it and I'll kind of like blend into my jawline a little bit. Usually sometimes I kind of feel like it's a little heavy like here. So I'll just kind of soften that a little bit. Then I'll soften this up too. Because I want to give the effect of me looking like a vampire, and vampires are very pale. Still want to like look sculpted, so this is kind of like my way of doing it. Okay, so next I bake. I watch a lot of drag, and I actually do have like some makeup tips that I have learned from watching drag queens, and a lot of them bake. And I feel like it makes a huge difference in your makeup whenever you're going for more of a glam look. If I'm doing a more natural look, I won't bake, but for the most part, I do bake. So I'm using Maybelline Fit Me Fair, and this is the loose powder. And I have this like little brush. This is 402 in RT. Again, this is like in a pack at Ulta for like $15 for like 4 brushes or something. So I'll take my powder, and I'm gonna pack it underneath my eyes and along my nose. And I kind of like to bring it up so it like brings your face up. And then this is one of my favorite parts to do, but I'll take a tiny bit of it and I'll make a line along the bottom of my contour, but I like sweep it out so that it kind of like blends, because it can look really harsh if it just like stops. And I'll do it along my jawline and I'll sweep it out. So while my face is baking, I'm going to go in with the NYX micro brow pencil in the tone Cool Ash. And I like a thin brow, so bear with me on this one. So I shave my eyebrows. I do have them microbladed, but I kind of create my own and then I'll cover it up. So it's okay if you mess up, because I'm going to go in and carve out with foundation. I kind of like pull it out. So I have like the general shape here. And like I said, I like a really thin brow. So I'm going to do the next one. Now both brows are done, and I'm going to carve out because you can still kind of see my microblading underneath. And I also just kind of like a really carved out look. I don't mind the microblading whenever I don't have any makeup on, because it's nice not being like fully bald. I've kind of worked my way around having it. So I'm going to take a little dash of my foundation. I'm going to take a little bit of the white foundation, and I have this like really thin flat brush that I use to carve out, and I'm going to mix it together. I feel like whenever I use just the white, it's like too light on my face, and then if I use the foundation, it's just like not light enough. And I pull it down to blend it. Since I have eyebrow piercings, I'll take like a tiny bit on my brush and I'll go over it, and I'll kind of like fill in the space around the piercings, and I usually like will clean off my piercings after. I personally just use my finger to blend it. You could use a brush if you want. It kind of depends on if I have my nails on or not, which I'm going to do a nail video soon, but yeah, so that's the underneath. It's like already like so much more carved out. And if I feel like I need like a little bit more coverage, and I like a high, again, a lot of my makeup is very inspired by drag, like goth, so I try very hard to do like a really nice like high arched brow. Then I'll go in and I'll carve out the top as well. I basically just carve out the entire eyebrow. I just feel like it makes the biggest difference. I apologize for the fire truck outside. I just got these piercings a few months ago, so there is like a little bit of makeup like around the piercing, but I don't really care. So I'm not gonna risk getting an infection. See the difference? I'm going to take this big like fluffy brush. This is 400 in RT, and I'm going to brush away all the baking that I did, and I'm going to use the excess to powder the rest of my face. And I'm just kind of like lightly go over my eyebrows, and then down here, basically everywhere. Now we're gonna do blush. I'm gonna use this Morphe blush palette that I have had since high school. I have no idea what it's called. It's like 7 years old, definitely expired. I don't really care. Anyway, I'm gonna use this Morphe brush in 79. It's like a contour brush. Again, I've had this since high school, so I like to go in and use this kind of like mauve-y color because it's kind of dark, because again we're kind of going for like that darker look. And I'll start here along like my hairline, and I'll kind of work it in with the contour. And I personally like to bring my blush up on my forehead. It's just a personal choice. You don't have to do that if you don't want to. And I just kind of like blend it, and it just adds like a little bit of color. See the difference? And then I'll take this darker one, and it's really, really pigmented, so you have to be really careful. And I'll kind of come down here, and I'll kind of just like carve that out a little bit more. I have accidentally used all of this. It was bad. It was bad. Anyway, but you see that? I personally love a ton of blush. I know that it's not everybody's favorite. I like the way that it looks. I think blush blindness is like, I love when people have blush blindness personally. I think it's gorgeous. It just adds like so much life to your face. And again, I know that I kind of said that I'm going for like a vampire look. So if you can leave it out if you're wanting it to like more vampiric, but I'm kind of going for like a glam goth trad vampire drag mixture. Like that's very much how like what has inspired my makeup. And now I'm gonna go in and use the NYX buttermilk highlighter in shade Bright and Butter. I'm using this like brush. Literally, this is from high school too. It used to actually be like have like a handle. Love it so much. I got it off of Amazon in this like giant pack for like 15 bucks. Works amazing. Anyway, I'm gonna take some of this and I'm just gonna like lightly add it to my cheekbone. I really like adding a lot in there. I don't really care if it's too much. I mean, look at me. You know what I mean? I go in and I like carve out my eyebrows, and then I do a little on my nose, and then I use the e.l.f. liquid eyeliner. I prefer a thin felt tip because I do a really sharp wing. I have hooded eyes. Wipe it off. I start here on the corner, and I like it to kind of like go up. Start kind of like on the outside of my iris here. And I like to look into the mirror, and I have my eyes open, and so I'm going to connect that here. And then I'm going to create like my wing, and I kind of like carve it down. Oopsies. I kind of carve it down and I go into the other line I created. And then now I'm going to close my eyes, and you see that. I connect that. Then I'm just gonna fill it in. So now I have like the general shape created. Kind of see that it's like a little messy. So I'm gonna go in with my little brush. Just kind of carve that out. I don't always get the liner perfect, and that's okay. Now I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna kind of connect that. I'm gonna go in and kind of create like my little like cat eye. So I kind of will just pull this out really gently. My under eye, I'm going to pull it out, pull this in towards where my iris starts, and then I'm going to fill that in. Cool. Now I'm going to do the other side. So since this is a cheap eyeliner, I will take a black eyeshadow and a brush, and specifically like where my lids are, I'm going to pat it so that it like stays throughout the day. And this actually works. And again, this eyeliner is like $5 for 2 of them. At least they were the last time I bought them, and they last quite a while. Do this pretty much every single day. Build out a little bit more, and it's gonna last all day. Now that I'm not spending $20 like every other week for eyeliner, I'm gonna use the LA Girls Ultimate Auto Liner in black, and I'm gonna go along my waterline, and I'm gonna fill in my corner. I'm going to take a little brush, smudge underneath. Now I'm going to use the e.l.f. Lash and Roll. This is just mascara. I literally don't really have like an opinion on it. It's like fine, I guess. I'm going to set with the Make It Last Milani. I love this setting spray. And it lasts forever, especially if you get the big one. I added on my eyelashes. I use Juvia's Place lashes. I don't remember which lashes these were, but 10/10 recommend Juvia's Place. I'm gonna use the LA Girl lip liner in Rosewood. I love this color. It's a pretty pink mauve color, and I just use it to outline. Now that I have the outline, next I use Juvia's Place's Flower Girl lip gloss. Love this. It's like a clear gloss, but it has like a really pretty purple blue glitter in it. Absolutely gorgeous. And then I mix it with my lip liner. You can see the glitter in there. Like rub my lips together. Gorgeous. Love. Thank you so much for watching. It was such a pleasure, and I had so much fun. So yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video.